Hi, I'm Catherine with the Seminole County Office of Emergency Management. I just wanted to say thank you for everyone for being here today on the Facebook Live for our Hurricane Expo. I apologize, we had some technical difficulties, so that's why we are a few minutes late, but we are going to get started now. So today's topic is seniors and persons with special needs. So we're talking all about hurricane preparedness this week. Things that are important to think about for anyone, but in particular for people who are senior citizens and also for persons with special needs. So the first part of getting prepared is making a plan. So an important step in that is to identify where you're going to evacuate to. So work with your friends and family members, see if any of them could possibly assist you by welcoming you into their home. And that could be someone who's local, who lives in your neighborhood, somewhere close to you in Seminole County. But it could also be a family or friend who lives far away. So if your option is to evacuate out of Seminole County and go find a friend or family member to stay with who may be away from Seminole County, away from the storm track, that may also be a really good option. But make that plan ahead of time. So have an idea of where you're going to go, how you're going to get there, if they need to come pick you up, or if you're going to drive yourself. Those are all things that you want to plan ahead of time. It's really important to remember that making that decision in the last minute is going to make it harder to make the right decision and decide. So make that plan ahead of time in order to make sure that it is the best. Other things to keep in mind are prescription refills and other medications. So you want to make sure you have those things on hand, especially if there's a hurricane approaching. So if there is a declared state of emergency for the state of Florida, you can actually refill your prescription for 30 days, even if it's not the time to do so. So you can just call your doctor and get that prescription refilled at your normal pharmacy. That way you have it for the right time frame. You don't have to worry about getting back into your pharmacy in a few days after the storm. Prepare for all of your other supplies. So all the normal things that you would need: food, water, comfort items, tools, can openers to open your canned goods for your kit. All of these things are really important, but you also want to make sure that you have all those other things you may not have thought about. So if you use oxygen, make sure you have your oxygen tanks or concentrator to bring with you. If you have any mobility issues, make sure you have your wheelchair or your walker, your cane ready to go with you as well. Hearing aids, batteries for any medical devices. These are all things to make sure you have plenty of backup for, and also know where they are in your home if you're not currently using them, and have them in a place where they're ready to go. Now, the next thing that we wanted to talk about is for persons who may have special needs, seniors or otherwise, who want to be a part of that program for Seminole County. So we have a pretty expansive program here where clients in Seminole County can register and they can go to a special needs shelter. That's what we've been doing in the past for many years. Now things are going to look a little bit different this year than they have in the past as far as sheltering. We really encourage you to go to a friend or family member's house if you can, evacuate if you can, use those shelters as really a last resort. So that is an important thing to keep in mind just because of the situation we're in with COVID-19 and sheltering. We will still be doing sheltering for special needs populations. So if you do end up having to go to a shelter, the way that that's going to work is we will still be providing transportation as we do in the past. So it's just going to be a little bit different. We're going to be doing cleaning before and after each and every transportation, so that's different than what we've done in the past. And at the shelter itself, we're going to be doing temperature checks, making sure everyone is staying safe, and just making sure we're doing enhanced cleaning measures. People are going to be more distant from each other while staying in the shelter, which may even include the use of classrooms, which hasn't taken place in the past. But how do you become part of this program? So there are a few ways to sign up. Before we were going to do a little demonstration on the screen in the other room, but I will walk you through it through words. So there are a few ways you can sign up. You could sign up online. Our website is prepareseminole.org, which you probably know from all of our COVID-19 updates, and that's where Hurricane Expo is right now. But on our regular webpage for Prepare Seminole, there is a button that you can click on. And there is it says the words medically enhanced sheltering, and there's a picture of a woman who's using a walker. And so if you click on that, there are multiple ways to complete that registration. So there's an online form, and there's also a printable form if you wanted to fill out a paper copy, and you can mail that to our office or submit it via an email. If none of those ways work for you, you can call our office or the Citizens Information Hotline to request a paper copy to be mailed to you, or if that doesn't work either, conduct that application over the phone. So there's lots of ways to sign up, but the next topic is what happens after that. So when we are sheltering during a hurricane or a tropical storm, some of you may choose to go to that shelter, but a lot of you may choose to either shelter in place with a friend, a family member, or in your own home. And if that is the case, then you may be part of what's called our well check program. So in the well check program, you will be checked on after a storm. So we will send out a reverse call from our office to everyone who's on that list to see if you're doing okay after the storm passes. So the call will come out and it'll say something along the lines of, we know the storm has passed and we just wanted to check in and see how everyone is doing. Please reply, yes, or press 1 to confirm if you're okay. Now, anyone who doesn't confirm to that message, we actually work with our partners in the sheriff's office and the fire department to send out someone to those homes to see if they're doing all right. So that is something that we have been doing for years and will continue to do, just to do a quick well check on people who may not have responded after the storm. During the storm, as we do have right now, you can call the Citizens Information Hotline at 407-665-0000, and that is how you are able to ask questions about sheltering, find out which shelters are open at that time, and also request transportation if that's needed. So I think now we're going to take any questions. Andy's helping me out with some questions.
Well, Catherine, I think one great question here would be, to participate in the well check program, do you have to sign up for the special needs registry?
Yes, so these are actually part of the same program. So if you would like to be part of the well check program but really never plan on attending a special needs shelter, that's totally fine, but you should still sign up. So you can sign up the same way, complete an application over the phone, online, through mail, any of those ways, and just say that you'd like to receive a well check. So you will still be on that list even if you don't necessarily have the type of medical needs that would require you to go to one of those shelters. You can still be on that list just to be checked on after a storm takes place.
What kind of people really need to sign up for the special needs registry?
Yeah, it's a good question. So the people who it's really important to be on this registry are people who depend on equipment that requires electricity. So for example, someone who requires oxygen assistance to breathe, that's really important. Someone who receives dialysis, someone whose medication requires refrigeration, all kinds of things where, if the power went out in your home, that would be a bad situation and you would really need to be in a different type of place. So those are the people who really need to be in a special needs shelter.
Do people who maybe have a lot of medications or have a lot of special needs, should they have that written out in a paperwork and have that with them at all times if they are going anywhere else, so that in case of an emergency, the hospital would be able to know what medication they're on?
Yeah, that's really important. That's important for everyone to keep in mind. Bring all your paperwork with you when you're evacuating anywhere, but especially to a shelter. Make sure you list all the medications that you take normally and who your primary care physician is. If you have any other doctors, you'll want to list those. And make sure you have all that information handy. that is good for maybe a caretaker you're taking with you to the shelter with you, or if you did have to go to a doctor emergency room, something like that.
Should we put this in a pouch of sorts, so waterproof?
Yeah, definitely keep your supplies that you're taking with you, especially the paperwork, in a waterproof bag or box, some sort of container that is handy, ready to go, and is not going to be damaged by water.
And Catherine, if you want to advise people that they can learn more about the different things that people need to do at our virtual expo.
Yeah, so a lot of you probably already know this from the expo that's been going on so far, but our Facebook Lives are just the beginning of the expo this year. Keep in mind that our Hurricane Expo page with the dashboard, the graphic, and all those videos is going to be up throughout the entire hurricane season this year. So all those videos are extremely helpful. There's one that's particularly about special needs sheltering, but also one that's about senior preparedness. So even more information can be found by watching those videos, and live updates are going to be tracked on that map if but hopefully not when we have a tropical storm or hurricane this season.
And Catherine, we have a question from Dottie. She says she did just join the live chat, and she wants to know, again, if you could reiterate, how does one get on the special needs registry?
Yeah, sure. No, I don't have any issue with repeating that. So there are a couple of ways that you can sign up. You could sign up through calling our office or our Citizens Information Hotline, but the easiest way probably is to do it online. If you or maybe one of your family members could assist you by doing it online, there's a very simple online application. So if you go to our website, prepareseminole.org, and then there is a button that says Medically Enhanced Shelter, and you click on that and it'll take you through the registration process. Start to finish, it's relatively simple. It should take you about 10 minutes or less to answer all those questions, and then our office will have the information in order to have you on that registry and notify you in the future.
And Catherine, just for a perspective, about how many people are currently registered for the special needs?
Yeah, sure. So right now there are about 2,300 people on our special needs registry. So we want to make sure that everyone who needs to be is on it. And if you have a friend or family member who you think that may be a good idea for them to receive a well check, or have the option to go to a shelter as a last resort.
Great, thank you, Catherine. I think that is all the questions we received so far today.
Okay, thanks. So yeah, I just wanted to reiterate, definitely watch those videos that are on the live chat right now, or that are on the Hurricane Expo dashboard right now. A lot of those have really, really good information, as well as we have one more Facebook live chat this week. That's tomorrow, and it's going to be about general population sheltering and pet sheltering. So I just wanted to say thank you to everyone for being here today, and thank you for your questions. I hope everyone stays safe this hurricane season.